Hey everybody, welcome back to the weekly DADCast. I'm your host, James.
Jesus.
I'm your host, James, here with our good buddies, Claude and Skylar. Say hey everybody.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Hey, so to start us off this week, we've got a fan question. Fan question. Anonymous asks,
That's not very nice.
what game have you broken the most? And by broken, I mean... Morty. By broken, I mean abusing systems to make yourself more OP or walk through the game.
So there's a couple of games that I think are like it's part of the system to do this, and so that's the things I think come to my mind first. It's like Nier Automata is really easy to break.
Yeah.
Right, like you stack damage chips and then give yourself witch time, and you have no reason to ever die because you'll never be hit. Like there's the chip that slows down time whenever bullets are near you. You make it so you should never ever be hit by a bullet, and then you get witch time whenever you perfect dodge a thing, and then you kill everything in one hit because you're so powerful and strong. So you have no reason to ever die in that game if you know how chips work. The other game is I think I mentioned before is Tales of Berseria. And it has to do with the fact that the main character in that game feels specifically designed to break the system in which the game plays. So like basically the way that the game works is you have like your health and you have your action points, like most RPGs, right? And action points determine like how many hits in your combo you can do before your combo ends. And you kind of like build your combo strings out in the menus to make it so like when you have 5 action points you can do the full combo basically. And then you can, when you have more than 3, you can spend an action point to do a move that's called a break soul that does like it puts it's either a super move, but in the main character's case it is an install that makes her unkillable, but her health drains when she's in the state, but she cannot die, and she can continuously spend break souls or spend action points to stay in this mode. And the way you gain action points in the system is by stunning enemies, and being in this mode ups her stun to ridiculous levels.
Okay.
So you can basically cheese it so that you're always in this mode forever, and then when you kill them, you can do the finisher move, which if it kills an enemy, it gives you your health back. So Velvet is really, really powerful for like no reason. She basically just breaks the game. She's the main character, and you play as her by default.
A good game that not good. A game that does this I haven't played is Skyrim. If you just take advantage of like the the weaponsmithing and the magic stuff in that game, you can just do shit infinitely. Like, and just have like a fucking broken dagger that kills anything with one shot. A game that I've done broken on my own is I typically do this with Yakuza games, where I will just spend all of my time and as early into the game as possible just doing random battles and getting CP points. Like by doing as much of the like completion tasks as I can. So I spent about an hour talking to one dude about 500 times just so I could complete all of the talk to people blank number of times tasks as early as possible, so I could get like I think it was like 2 sprint upgrades. And right now I'm playing Yakuza Kiwami 2, and I did that. And then now I'm working on like doing all the food related stuff, and then doing a bunch of what's it called, sub stories. And I'm still in like the first main mission where I have
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Well, I remember that like I got when I was playing Yakuza 0, I got lots of those completion points
Mm-hmm.
pretty early, and so there's just the best place to put them in is just to upgrade your business. So like whenever I didn't spend a single one of them until I unlocked the business, and then when you
Mm-hmm.
unlock the business, it's just like pump everything into the business.
And then you have infinite money.
Yeah, and then Kiryu can just and that's actually the thing that killed my progress in Yakuza 0 is when I was playing as Kiryu, the way that his system works is you just kind of like wait 5 minutes and then you mess with some menus and you've now gained $100 million. And so what I would do is I would just kind of stand around in the office, like waiting until the timer would tick down and then reshuffle the menu and like, oh, I've now gained $500 million.
Yeah, Kiwami 2 doesn't have that problem because it operates like unlocking moves and stuff operates on a normal XP bar in which you gain XP through your random battles and stuff and like some items.
Right.
And then you just expend it like normal.
That makes sense. It's just it's like the money equals XP thing in that game means that like the way that you like make money so fast in that game just like it isn't a problem with Majima because with
Mhm.
Majima his mini game is so much more active. Like you actually have to do a little mini
Oh, the
game.
dating thing?
Yeah,
Or the dating, the host club?
yeah, when you run the host club, it's a much more active mini game. So it's like it isn't the same thing as like with Kiryu where I just stand in the office and then I press two
Majima's host
buttons.
club minigame is like one of my favorite minigames in anything ever.
It actually is a really fun mini game because it's fucking stressful as hell.
Majima actually.
I also love the pre mini game like talks with the girls.
Dude, those training sessions are like that's like I don't understand why that makes me feel the way it makes me feel. It's super weird. Like,
Majima.
they're really entertaining, but it's also like super like this is a real actress and it's first person perspective and they're supposed to be like you're sitting down with this real ass actress to talk to her about, I don't know, her
Part of
uncle,
it, huh?
how she hangs out with old people a lot.
Part of it makes me sad because it's like, man, this is a character I would want Kiryu to date, but he will never ever date.
No, because the one girl died in Yakuza 1, so never again.
Only woman he ever loved, according to Yakuza 6.
And it's one of those things where like I knew
Except
about
for all the
Yakuza
girls
games.
that he banged in Yakuza 0.
Nope, didn't happen. Shut
I
up.
got pretty far in Yakuza 0. I haven't seen him bang anyone yet.
Oh, it's it's the mini game where you call in the people on the phone, like you do like the phone talking hotline, and you can end that with hey, let's meet in real life, and then it's always a mini game at the end where it's like there's two people wearing kind of the same outfit, and if you guess the correct person, it's literally a complete guess to figure out which one is the one wearing the right clothes. Then you go to a love hotel, and that's just what
I vaguely remember something like that, and I was like, "Oh, is this the person?" And it was just some like random ugly chick, and he was like, "Ooh, I'm getting out of here." And as he left, some hot chick came by, dressed the exact same, like, "Damn, I was really excited to meet him," and then she leaves.
Yeah. So it's like,
is that the bathroom one where you're writing notes in the bathroom? I might be thinking about different persons then.
Well, no, because that's how that mini game works. Is like you call people and then it's let's meet in real life when you succeed or whatever, and then you go to the spot, right? And then Kiryu looks over, he sees a person who's like, oh, she said she'd be wearing a blue dress, and she's in a blue dress, and then he's like, oh, that must be her. And then another person walks by in a blue dress, and he's like, oh no, they're both in the blue dress. That's a slightly different blue dress. What do I do? And you have to talk to one of the two of them. And it's like literally a just toss up if that one is the one is going to be the correct one or not.
Did you get the gold digger? The one who's like, I mean, she's like, yeah, I date a lot of dudes. I don't really do much. I don't do anything with them, but I make them pay out the ass to do anything for me.
Wasn't that one of the side stories?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think that was one. Wasn't that the one with Majima, where there's the guy that was running around to deliver shit for her, and then Majima's like, "You should stop being a fucking bitch.
Man,
Stand up for yourself."
I want to say yes. Oh, yeah, that's right. To do with you bought him new shoes and you did all this stuff
because he's running around so much that his shoes disintegrated.
Yeah, he's like, "Why are you running barefoot, dog?" And he was like, "I like this chick, but she has a boyfriend, but I want to impress her." Majima's stories are great. Like the chick who's like, "Be my boyfriend." Oh, do you remember the girl who was like,
pretend to be my boyfriend?
And then you're like, "What?" And he's like, "No, just pretend." And then you get to the end of that storyline, and the dad's like, "You're great.
Please
be my
date
daughter's
my daughter.
girlfriend, and if you don't, I'll date you. And he's like, what?
Yeah, dude, that side story is the best. I love Majima side stories so much. I think my favorite one that I've done so far was the one that was like, where the one guy made a crossword puzzle to propose to his girlfriend, but she couldn't figure it out. Like, it was too hard, so you had to go with her into a diner, and like she's trying to do the crossword puzzle, and you have to like drop hints to figure out, like, so she can figure it out herself, and then when you solve it, it's a proposal.
You remember that one where you had to join that cult and like you got into it to save the daughter at the end when you beat the dude's ass? He's like, someone please call 911. And they're like, let's pray over him and give him energy. And he's like, no, you idiots, I'm going to die. Call 911.
Yeah, that one's also Majima.
Speaking of Majima, his the Majima Everywhere system in Kiwami 2 is really fun, and it actually partially supports my run around town and do absolutely everything you can before you continue the main mission thing, because that's how you discover him. He'll just show up randomly, and you get and you just unlock. That's how you unlock the dragon moves. They're locked behind fighting him.
That's good. Well, then that's how you normally should play Yakuza games, right? As you like, because the map's not very big, so in between story missions, just make sure to go look at everything to see if there's like a side story that'll pop up or something.
Man, I super need to like beat those games, like, because I didn't beat the first one or Zero. I got pretty far into Zero. I think I'm in like chapter 10 or whatever, but like I need to actually beat it, especially because I want to go to like Dotonbori and just like yuck it up while I'm there. I want to be able to appreciate in full.
Because Kamurocho Hills is just fucking, what's it called, Harajuku, right? I'm sorry.
No.
It's fuck. It's the red district. What'd you say? Is it Dotonbori? I thought it was the red light district in Tokyo.
I mean, no. Kabuki or Dotonbori is in Osaka.
Is what I meant to say.
Yeah, no, it's based off of Dotonbori, which is in Osaka.
Oh, you mean so that where Majima is based on Dotonbori? Okay, I was talking about Kamurocho Hills, which is where Kiryu is. No. And that's Kabukicho.
You can actually miss some of the Majima fights, because there's one where he's dressed as a police officer, and he pulls you over to like pat you down, and you have to choose to give him an item that like would make him suspicious or think you're doing criminal activity. If you don't give him the item, he just leaves and you can't fight him. It's like, well, shit. I had that problem where I actually had to reload a save just to fight him, and then he had like a fucking stun baton, and I was like, well, shit. I gave him my sword that I had.
Damn, got him.
Kiwami 2 is great. I can't wait for them to hopefully eventually maybe make Kiwami 3 and 4.
I wonder if those games are selling super well, so won't they probably do that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, but I wonder if they'll remake ones that are that recent, right? Because like Kiwami 2, like 2 was the last one that was on PS2.
Mm-hmm. Well, well, they won't make 4 because 4 is actually out on PS4.
Yeah, I know. I have it on PS4 because it was free.
Yeah, so they won't do that, but I don't think 3 is on new console. So they'll probably do a Kiwami 3 and then 4, 5, 6, and that'll be it.
And they'll be and they'll port 5 up, because I don't think 5 has been ported up.
I mean, we're gonna go like to our next console gen probably in the next couple of years. So.
Oh God, we have something to say about that on the docket. I'm fucking livid at what they've been talking about.
James is angry.
I didn't look at anything, so I'm curious to see.
All I saw was one thing that seemed kind of cool, but I have no idea about specs shenanigans because I don't care.
All I know was the one meme about how it could track how bad you are, and it's the whole like it smelled like bitch in here thing with the PlayStation.
I saw a tweet.
That's like literally all I knew about like anything.
But anyway, Claude, did you have an answer to the broken games question?
Oh yeah, so there's a couple. Like, my first memory of really breaking something, which is like, I would just not fight in Demon Souls and do everything I could to just kick you off of a cliff. Like, there was the only boss that I remember that you did this. It's not even really a boss. It's like think about like a Havel who's just someone who is just there. It's a badass. I believe her name was like Executioner Mildred. And you could just run up and deal with her. You can kick her off a cliff and you just get all her stuff. And I remember a dude in a church who I would get to chase me until I got towards a cliff because he was whipping my ass, and I would just like roll around until I could kick him off the cliff, and then I'd win. So I'd do that. The other game I know I did that with a lot in. You mentioned Skyrim. I don't remember if it was Skyrim or Oblivion. But there was a point pretty early on where you could run into a giant. I'm gonna say it's Skyrim, and I just sat on top of a hill, a mountain or whatever, a cliff. It couldn't really reach me. And I just shot arrows into his face for like half an hour and just pumped my arrow leveling. And the last one was, which you're kind of supposed to break it, is Dead Cells.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did in that was like, I would try when I was going to a boss area, specifically for the first boss. There's 2 different like abilities you can put down there, turrets, and I would literally just not even fight the boss on my own. I'd put 2 turrets down and just run around dodging him, and the turrets would shred the boss in like less than 30 seconds. So I'm like, oh, huzzah! Cool. And like the game pretty much rewards you of like just doing what you can whenever you can, just whatever you can manage, just do it. It doesn't matter if it's cheap, fucking do it.
Yeah.
Your thing about Demon Souls reminded me of a thing when I was playing that game. So I never actually beat Demon Souls, but I was always obsessed with beating, I think it was stage 4-1, which is like the Storm Isle or whatever the fuck, the first part of that. Because that level is so fucking long. Like,
it is.
It's incredibly long before you get to the boss. So I was like always obsessed with beating just that part. And I learned that there's actually an exploit you can do in that level where if you don't have if you have like no like armor on you at all, and you're like completely, so you have fast roll, you can go to like a really early spot in level where you're on top of like a tower, and you can fast roll off the side of the tower onto a ledge down below, and it'll put you like right by the boss. So basically, you can skip the entire level, like right at the beginning, and you'll be right in front of the boss. So I did eventually beat that level just because like the boss is really easy actually for that stage, mercifully. I guess the thing, my damage was incredibly low too, so it took me like fucking 30 minutes to beat the goddamn boss.
That's the big fat one, right?
Yeah, it's the big fat guy with the thing.
Yeah. He's not even that hard of a boss.
He's not hard at all. What's hard is the level. It's just I said my DPS was so low because I was super under leveled. I had no idea how to play a Souls game at the time.
Nobody did.
Yeah, so I was, because it actually was before Dark Souls came out, so it was like legitimately I didn't have mountains of resources to look up to figure out how the fuck to play the game.
Demon Souls came out before Dark Souls.
No, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, I thought you were saying like it was difficult because it came out like, and in my mind I was like, I processed it as, you know, the Dark Souls series was out, but you're stating that. I don't know. I was really confused by how I initially heard it, but that was my fucking up.
Yeah. Because it was a thing where like, my friend made me aware of Demon Souls like pretty close after it came out in the West. So I was like in fucking middle school, and I'm trying to play Demon Souls, and I did it okay. I
didn't beat the game,
but I was really confused about how certain things work. I had no idea why I couldn't progress after I beat the Tower Knight in the main castle area. Like, because there was the big gate that was like, come back later, and I'm like, what, when?
What do you mean later?
What do you mean later?
I want to go now.
And then there was still to this day, my brain cannot comprehend the Tower of Latria. Like, I have no idea how that stage is supposed to even function. It's so confusing to me. So the game is like obtuse as fuck.
A Souls game being obtuse.
It's true. I wonder if I could beat it now. Like, I probably could, but I wonder like if it would be as high. I wonder if I would have as much trouble with it.
Yes.
Because, man, fuck, those enemies in Tower of Latria are bullshit.
I beat 1, 2, and 3. And I went back to play Demon Souls, and I had a lot of trouble with it. Yeah. It's actually pretty hard.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. It's a fucking weird game.
Yeah, but moving on to weeks.